What's up, my fellow Librans, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Tawny Astrology, and I am not your average love light twin flame and tarot reader person. I do read tarot, but I'm not all love and light, basically. So if that's your vibe and you like this video, make sure to stick around and subscribe for more videos, and to give this video a thumbs up and comment down below and let me know if you end up relating. I'm sorry, that was a lot. I didn't mean to go into that much, but anyways. Welcome to your February 2021 Tarot and Astrology reading, Libra. So this month, this month for Libras, especially Libra risings, the astrology portion of this video is going to resonate more with Libra risings, but you may see these themes if you're a Libra sun or moon as well. And the tarot portion can relate with whoever. So just keep that in mind, watch your other signs, always kind of, But for Libras, this is a time where something is getting completely reconstructed when it comes to your love life, what you do for pleasure, your passions, how you find your joy, right? How you find your joy, how you find your pleasure, romance, sexuality, also children. These are the major themes that are coming up this month for Libra, and that are going to be completely rethought and reconstructed because Mercury is retrograding in this area for Libras. And so there is a lot coming up when it comes about your love life and how you view love. Also, your sexuality, your relationship with children, what you do for hobbies, for your joy, for your pleasure, your passions. These are major, major things that you're going to start seeing. Now, there are going to be some challenges this month, though, like we talked about last month with that 8th house sector of other people's money, other people's resources, finances, right? What you share with another person, whether it's money, resources, land, home, whatever, money that's owed to you or money that you owe, debt, things like this, also major change. Major life changes. And so this month, Libra, our ruling planet Venus is going to be in this area of romance, love, children, right? And it's going to be making a series of squares and taking some hard hits from really big planets. So you're going to feel a little bit more under pressure this month. You're going to feel some intensity. You're going to feel the need to break free of something. You're going to feel the need to disrupt. You're going to feel the need, like you're going to try to keep the peace. You're going to try to be harmonizing things, but you're also going to feel the need to make changes, or, certain events may happen that push you to make changes. You may start feeling, very different about your views may start changing, and you may start feeling very different about love, romance, sexuality, especially. This is a month that could get a little wild in the sexual department because we're dealing with massive sexual energy for Libra this month. So watch out for that. It may be really tempting to take some kind of risk or to do something outside of the norm. And some of you may need that, so I'm not saying like, oh, don't do it. I'm just saying like, think about it. Be careful. Be wise about it. You may this month have the need or desire more so to experiment, to try out different things, to do different things, to be a little bit more wild. Now, the first part of the month, though, you may feel a little bit more grounded, a little bit more settled. This could be pretty boring because Saturn or Venus is going to be going over Saturn. So you may start feeling a little bit restricted or slowed down or delayed. There may need to be some serious conversations or something that needs to be had around this time. The love or romance department could get a little bit restricting or dry around the beginning of the month because of that reason. But once Venus passes Saturn, it will go with Jupiter, and they will both be squaring Uranus and Mars. So that's going to be like, I want to amp shit up times 20. You know what I mean? Like, let's amp shit up. Let's do something crazy. Let's do something different. Let's get out of our comfort zone in some kind of way, because there's something that you've been there's something you've been holding back. Okay, like you've been trying to make your life look one way on the outside. You've been trying to make things appear one way, whether this is to your family or your partner or to someone that you're interested in, you know, or whether this is just to the world in general. Like you've been really working hard to try to secure a solid foundation for yourself, Libra. But this month, your interests are elsewhere. Your interests and desires are possibly going to be conflicting with the life or the foundation that you've built for yourself. And so it's going to be important for you to think about what you're doing. You know what I mean? And I feel like you're going to be in conflict this month between some kind of commitment or agreement or contract or partnership that you're already in versus something else or something different. Because I do see kind of like a reflecting on commitment, a reflecting on taking something to the next level. If you do, if you don't, you're going to want to get outside of your comfort zone. You're going to want to rebel against your certain circumstances this month. And you're going to want to do something that is, you're going to want something that has more depth, that is a little bit more dark and shadowy. And I don't mean, when I say dark, I'm not talking about evil. It's a common misconception. But that's not what I'm talking about. It's like you want to explore different places that are more taboo, places that you want to explore, basically. But this is going to be kind of your conflict this month, your choice, okay? Like, and you may find that a certain relationship or a certain situation or something in your life is starting to become a little bit more irritating or a little bit more annoying. And so something this month is gonna start pushing you to want to do something different, to step outside of your comfort zone, to experiment, to go a little crazy, to get a little wild. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily a bad thing. And those first few days in February, you could find that they're a little bit more tense, or they're a little bit more down, or you're feeling a little bit more like, you know, like you want to have a strong commitment, but at the same time, you're in conflict with like, is this what I really want long term? I think. And it doesn't just have to be like a partner or a romance. This could be, you know, a passion or a hobby or something else that you've been really interested in. And you're struggling back and forth with this. And I think those first few days are going to really bring the issues to light. That way you know what you're dealing with. And that's how I want you to think about it. So those first few days of February that seem very intense, very kind of down, very kind of even possibly a little bit depressing, I want you to think about like, okay, what is this showing me? And like, do I want to keep dealing with this? Is this something that I want? Because a lot of the times Libras, and I can speak for this because I am a Libra, Libras can get so caught up in always bouncing their ideas off of what are other people going to think. Is this going to offend someone? How can I keep the peace? How can I keep the balance? How can I do this? With also, you know, thinking about what this other person wants, right? Because Libra, especially Libra sun or rising, you have identity placements in a sign that deals with relationships and other people. So your identity is kind of based off of other people, right? Like you're constantly thinking about the needs and desires and opinions of other people. You're constantly taking other people into consideration when you think about stuff, when you take some kind of action, when you do something, you know, you're constantly thinking about that and you're constantly compromising. But this month, it's going to be like, no, stop thinking about what other people want or what other people are doing or, you know, whatever. This month, think about what you want. What does your heart desire? Because half the times Libras will find themselves in relationships or even friendships or certain situations with people where they just kind of settle because it's easy and it's keeping the peace and it's like whatever. This time period is not going to let you do that. So you need to get honest with yourself. Are you settling in a situation or with a person or, you know, a group of friends, whatever the case may be? Are you settling in some situation in your life even though it's not what you actually really want? It's like a lot of the times we don't even realize that. We're like sitting there, we're like, oh yeah, this is cool, whatever. But then after it's been removed from our life, only then can we be like, oh wait, I never even really like was into that. Like, why did I just like sit there and go with it? Because we just go with the flow to keep the peace, to not shake anything up. This month, don't be afraid to shake things up. Don't be afraid to make some changes. Don't be afraid to look at, what does my heart truly desire? Is this even it? It's like a blind spot for Libras to think about, like, oh, well, what do I really want? You know, like, what about me? You know, like, do I even really want this? You know, because we're so focused on like, oh, what if they don't want me? Or what if they don't like me? Or what if they break up with me? You know, but really it's like, well, am I even really happy? Do I even see this going anywhere long term? Like, what am I doing? You know, so think about that. Think about that. And that's what this first part of February is really going to do. You know, it's going to get deep in there and you're going to be like, what are you doing? Is this what you really, is this actually making you happy? Do you see yourself doing this for the long term? Because if not, then it needs to go. Don't be afraid to experiment. Don't be afraid to let loose. What's it going to hurt? You know, when you're on your deathbed, are you really going to be thinking about like, oh, I wish I wouldn't have changed, or I wish I wouldn't have experimented, or I wish I wouldn't have tried new things, right? If anything, you're going to be like, I wish I would have, instead of just settled to stay under the radar, you know what I mean? To not shake shit up. And so whether it's a job, a hobby, you know, a project, something that you want to do, or people in your life, you know, I think that Libras should be thinking about this right now. Because you're learning what you truly desire and love and how to take that seriously, and what you truly desire in joy and happiness and children and romance and sexuality, you know? So allow yourself to transform, allow yourself to change. So February 4th, there could be some changes or intensity or some fear that comes up around finances, especially around things that you may desire or want, or a partner or something, but there could be some conflict there with finances, so watch out for that, or even priorities, resources. So watch out for that. Now, I think that we also have, I don't know what I'm saying. We also have Mercury retrograde on the 8th, conjunct the sun, which is what we call a cazimi in astrology. And this is going to be interesting. Once again, it's happening in the sector of romance and children and pleasure and all of that for you. So this could be a realization, a revelation, you know, looking back on something. Could also be some kind of news or communication, some kind of message that comes out around that time. So watch out for that. On the 11th, Venus is going to conjunct Jupiter, and we're going to have a new moon in Aquarius. This is going to be a time where you're starting to feel a little bit more optimistic, a little bit more hopeful, excited, wanting to make changes, wanting to move forward with something in a really big way, you know, to change something in a really big way. And it's going to be really important for you. You're going to be getting some kind of glimpse of what you truly want and where you really are going to be feeling fulfilled and finding that meaning and purpose. It could have something to do with learning something new, going back to school, you know, travel, or just getting out of your comfort zone in some way, you know, or a new outlook on something. And then that new moon in Aquarius is definitely bringing up this new beginning, this like fresh start. It's not going to be a good time to necessarily take action around that time, but it is a good time to like actually decide on something and say, okay, this is really what I want, and I see clearly now, and all of that. So yeah, and then eventually the sun will move into Pisces as we get into Pisces season, which is going to be more about work, daily habits, health, routine, what you do on a day-to-day basis, also service to others, you know, creativity. So towards the month, you're going to be feeling that energy a little bit more. Mercury goes direct on the 20th. Your ruling planet Venus moves into Pisces on the 25th, which is really going to accentuate that, like, you know, what do you want to do on a day-to-day basis? How can you incorporate more beauty and joy and harmony and pleasure and creativity into your day-to-day routine, into your work, more self-love into your day-to-day routine, possibly even helping others or doing stuff for others that makes you happy, you know. And then towards the end of the month on the 27th, we have a full moon in Virgo. So this is definitely going to be bringing up some stuff with possible endings or the past, letting go of old cycles. Ooh, Libra. Letting go of old cycles, these types of things. So there's something new that you're wanting to start here for sure. For some of you, this is very creative related, a hobby, something you've been working on, like maybe starting up your own business or some way to be doing something that feels more purposeful for you, something that you really want to do, but you have so much delusional fear around it. There's so much fear that is literally a projection of your own trauma, your own perceived failures, but it's delusional. It's not real with the moon here. You're not seeing things clearly. So, and this could be around that full moon in Virgo or around Pisces season, because I was talking about that when this came out. So, you know, there's definitely some fear here about starting something new, but this, I do feel like you're going to get the encouragement, the inspiration to finally do it. Some kind of new project or hobby or something. There's something here that you're wanting to start, maybe even a job or a business. And I think that you're going to be starting it by the end of this month. You're going to find that empowerment, that confidence to do it after this month, which is really cool. So let's see if we can get anything else about what's going on with this month for you guys, Libra, from the cards. Ooh, Ace of Cups and Ten of Cups. Interesting. Once again, what do you want? What do you emotionally want? What's going to fill your cup? This is a month about your dreams, Libra. Like what do you dream about? What do you, and I'm not talking about like when you sleep, I'm talking about like, what do you dream about doing in your life that you haven't done yet? Now's the time. I mean, I know it doesn't seem like it, but instead of looking at the world as this restriction or this limitation and what's going on as this limitation, start looking at it as an opportunity. The old normal's gone. You know what I mean? The old normal's gone. You can do anything you basically want to do right now. I know it doesn't seem like that. I mean, yeah, there's, if you want to get more 3D about it, there's still, you know, some things that you couldn't do, but in terms of your dream, in terms of what you wish for, in terms of your ambitions, right? And you're thinking, I can't decide. The North Node's in Gemini. I'm back and forth. There's so much I want to do. I don't know how to integrate it all. Integrate it. You're thinking too literal. You're thinking too like boxed in. You're trying to box yourself into a certain category. No, take a step back and be like, okay, what do I really want to do? What is going to give me the most purpose? And how can I combine these things into one category to make my own unique position or job? Even if it's not a job, a hobby, whatever. For some of you, this definitely has something to do with the internet, with writing, with communicating, helping other people, giving back in some way. This is really awesome, Libra. Really awesome energy here. I think this month is going to bring a lot of revelations for you in order for you to move through this energy. So yeah, that is basically what I'm getting here for you guys, Libra. Hopefully this ends up resonating. Let me know down below if it does resonate so far, and come back and let me know by the end of the month if any of this stuff did happen for you. Make sure to follow me on my other social medias to keep up with me, because I post a lot of like daily predictions and other really interesting stuff. I am kind of controversial right now, so if you're triggered easily, then don't do that. Don't follow me on my other social medias, because I am kind of speaking truth, and I try to just stay mainly with the facts because it is a Gemini North Node, and I know that. But yeah, so, but if you don't mind that, and if you know that, if you see what's going on in the world and you're not afraid to talk about it, then follow me. Especially on Instagram, that's where I post the most. I've also been posting a lot of astrology content and stuff like that to TikTok. So yeah, I love you guys, my fellow Librans. Comment down below, let me know what you thought, and I will see you guys in my other videos. Bye.